Abortion. The definition is the deliberate termination of human pregnancy. Today, we know it as the controversial topic that plagues our society with moral and ethical questions. Both sides, pro-life and pro-choice, have strong arguments that cause a divide in today's society. Cultural, religion, ethics vary throughout the United States, creating different opinions, making this a tough topic. Thoughts and laws regarding abortion have evolved throughout time. Let's take a look at the history behind this controversial topic. Abortion practices can be traced back to ancient times. Riddle, 1992, found the earliest known description of abortion comes from the ancient Egyptian text Ebers Papyrus. Some abortion methods of early cultures were non-surgical physical activities such as strenuous labor, climbing, paddling, weightlifting, or diving. While abortion was practiced in ancient days, the moral question of abortion has been debated for a very long time. Early Christian writers prohibited abortion within the text, commending theft, covetousness, perjury, hypocrisy, and pride. Riddle, 1992, also states that the earliest legal ban on abortion dates back from the Syrian 11th century BCE Code of Essira. It imposes the death penalty on married women who proceed abortions without the permission of their husbands. Fast forward until about 1880, abortions were allowed under common law and widely practiced. They were illegal after quickening, the term that is used to describe when the woman is pregnant and can feel the fetus moving. Various anti-abortion laws have evolved since the early 1900s in the United States. Abortion widely became illegal, but was practiced behind closed doors. Reproduction rights became a popular topic during the 1960s, inspired by the women's liberation movement and the civil rights movement. In 1973, the U.S. court ruled that the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without government restriction. This decision was made in the case of a woman named Norma McCorvey. Her pseudonym was Jane Roe. In 1969, she became pregnant with her third child and wanted an abortion. McCorvey lived in Texas, where abortion was illegal, except in the case to save a mother's life. She took the issue to the U.S. federal court against her local district attorney, Henry Wade, alleging that Texas abortion laws were unconstitutional. Texas appealed this ruling to the United States Supreme Court, which appeared to hear the case. In 1973, the U.S. court ruled that the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without government restriction. Abortion has been legal throughout the United States until recently. The Human Rights Protection Act and the Alabama abortion ban on Alabama, it enacted on May 15, 2019. It was set to impose a near total ban of abortion in the state starting November 2019. Legal challenges against the bill has delayed implementation since the act was passed. Further controversy has engaged strong opinions on both sides. Now let's take a look at the different viewpoints of both sides of this issue.
I'm here to back up the pro-choice side. According to NARAL Pro-Choice America, the right to choose abortion is essential to ensuring a woman can decide for herself if, when, and with whom to start or grow a family. We'll never stop fighting to protect and expand this fundamental right. The Supreme Court's landmark 1973 decision in Roe v. Wade that affirmed abortion as a constitutional right for all was supposed to be the beginning of the fight for women's equality and autonomy, not the end. Since then, we've been forced to defend it over and over again as anti-choice politicians and organizations focus on undermining and chipping away at our rights until they can do away with legal abortion access completely. They've passed hundreds of laws to restrict a woman's ability to access abortion care. These laws take many forms, including trying to outlaw abortion altogether, shutting down clinics, restricting access based on income level, and dictating which medical procedures are available. So why should you be pro-choice? Women have a moral right to decide what to do with their bodies, and that shouldn't be anyone else's decision. The right to abortion is vital for gender equality, and the right to abortion should be part of a portfolio of pregnancy rights that enables women to make a truly free choice whether to end a pregnancy.
I'm on the pro-life side. To be pro-life means to be against abortion and to give that baby a life. People who are pro-life believe that an unborn baby has life as soon as it has been conceived, so they believe the law should make an abortion a crime to protect that life. A fetus is given life the moment conception happens. They are living beings that don't have a say or any rights. If the mother gets an abortion, it can be considered murder. According to Guttmacher Institute, in 2017, Planned Parenthood performed 332,757 abortions, or approximately 36% of all abortions, making them the largest abortion chain in the United States. Even as the overall nation abortion rate has declined over the past 2 decades, Planned Parenthood's abortion numbers have increased sustainably during this time period. Babies should not have to suffer the death penalty just because of faulty man-made creations or mistakes. If a mother chooses to participate in sexual activity, she should be aware of the possibility that she might get pregnant.
According to the article Laws Restricting Teenagers' Access to Abortion, almost 350,000 U.S. teenagers under the age of 18 become pregnant each year. Approximately 82% of these pregnancies are unintended. These statistics rise every year due to unplanned pregnancies and the lack of education that women receive about protection. According to the 2014 CDS School Health Profiles, fewer than half of the high schools and only a fifth of middle schools teach all 16 topics recommended by the CDC as essential components of sex education. These topics range from basic information on how HIV and other STDs are transmitted and how to prevent infection, to critical communication and decision-making skills. In fact, today, fewer young people report receiving any formal sex education at all. Over 50% of females and males do not receive birth control before the first time they have intercourse, and even a bigger number of teenagers do not receive education about it at all. This is why I stand pro-choice.
Not many people know this, but at just 6 weeks, the child's eyes, eyelids, nose, mouth, and tongue have formed, according to the best pro-life arguments for secular audiences. A fetus feels pain during the abortion procedure. Procon.org quoted Maureen Condict, Associate Professor of Neurobiology and Anatomy and Associate Professor of Pediatrics at the University of Utah School of Medicine, stating there is a universal agreement that pain is detected by the fetus in the first trimester. Abortion also reduces the number of adoptable babies in the U.S. According to Procon.org, the percentage of infants given up for adoption in the U.S. declined from 9% of those born before 1973 to 0.5% of those born in 2014. As a result of the lack of women putting their children up for adoption, the number of U.S. infant adoptions dropped from about 90,000 in 1971 to 18,329 in 2014. Mothers cannot have their own babies, often turn to adoption.
Alright, both sides have provided strong evidence to back up their standpoints on abortion. The United States is divided on this topic because of cultural differences throughout the country. Education, values, and beliefs vary from place to place, creating this divide. We as a country may never see eye to eye, but it is important to stay informed and educated and have your own opinion on this controversial topic. It is up to you to decide your own views.